Are you struggling to make your sketchbook more organized and aesthetically pleasing? Be sure to watch the entire video because by the end, you'll have an understanding on how to apply some basic design fundamentals to your sketchbook that'll make your sketchbook pages a bit more interesting, even if your drawings are messy. What's good, everybody? My name is Mr. Salt, and welcome to my channel. Also, welcome to my art journey. I'm not going to hold you guys up for too long. Let's get right onto the drafting table and to the demonstration. All right, for demonstration purposes, we're just going to stick to basic shapes. The main purpose of this video is to create interesting layouts for your sketchbook. So the first design fundamentals that we'll apply to our sketchbook page, and probably the most important, is the rule of thirds. I do this by sectioning my page off into thirds. You can either measure it yourself or eyeball it. For me, I'm just going to eyeball it. The easiest way to do this is by dividing your page in half, and then we have our halfway mark, and then dividing each side of the half into further halves to get our fourth, and then from our fourth mark to our half point, we divide that in half, and that'll give us our third. And we do that on both sides. So I'm going to do that for both vertically, and I'm going to do that both horizontally as well. I'm not going to use this side of the page just because this binder's in the way, so I'm just going to use this area for my drawing area. I'm going to find my third, so divide in half. It's about roughly here. And I'm going to use like a dot or a tick mark just to use as a reference for myself. The better you get at this, the less you will need the actual tick marks or guidelines for yourself. But if you need guidelines, be sure to use them. I'm going to say this is my first half here. This is going to have a tick mark there. Then I'm going to find my second half or my second third. I'm just going to say here. So now we have roughly about 3 equal parts vertically. Then we're going to do the same thing horizontally. So now I have my thirds for my horizontal and my vertical. Now what this is going to do is going to create a 3x3 grid. So now we have a basic 3x3 grid that we can house individual drawings within. And also, another note, each one of these 3x3 blocks can be subdivided further into 3x3 grids as well. So this area here can also be subdivided in thirds as well. And doing this, we can create interesting shapes and design for our actual page. So I'll be doing that going further from here. So let's choose a 3x3 area to hold our drawing. And let's say that I want to have this top right area, for example. So I have a tick mark here and I have a tick mark here. And where these two lines intersect, that will be, I'll just put a dot here. And now this area here will hold my first drawing. Just say our first drawing will just be a sphere. So let's add a sphere within our drawing bounds. Now let's say we want to add some type of illustration. Then to further find some type of area, clean area. I can use any empty area on my sketchbook and just designate another block of white space to hold my illustration. So applying that rule of thirds grid method that I did before, we can also subdivide it and find another area in which we can hold an illustration. So let's say I want to use this point here, and then I want to have it somewhere. I see that there is some type of space between here. So I want to stay consistent with this space between my first drawing, and I want to apply that to my illustration as well. So instead of using this entire area here where we go to the edge of the page, I'm going to subdivide this area to try to align my illustration. This point here is my top right hand side, and then this is my first third. Well, this is my bottom third. Then let's find another third. So let's divide that in half. Divide this in half. Then I'm going to align that up with this third area here. So now I have a new drawing area or a new drawing space within this bound. And then let's do a basic illustration here. Now we have our second illustration, and already this sketchbook page looks a little bit more interesting than if I was just to place a illustration here and then randomly place spheres here all around my page. It's a bit more aligned. So another design principle that I want to apply to my sketchbook page that you guys can use in your sketchbook page as well is perspective. For this, I'm going to use the organic perspective exercise from Drawbox course to basically use my drawing as an element in which it looks like my drawing is actually flowing through space. And we can do this by, first, I'm going to have some type of flow line. So I already have in my mind where I want to place this. So I have this area here in which I can place another drawing. And then we're just going to make some type of flow line like that. And then the rules of perspective, things that's further from you get smaller and things closer to you gets bigger. So we're just going to apply that to spheres, for example. And you can do this with any other type of drawing as well, but we're just going to keep it simple and we're going to use spheres. So since I'm going to have this super far away from us, so I'm just going to use a teeny tiny dot. And then as I get up to the top of this flowy line, I'm going to slowly, gradually make these spheres a lot bigger. And now it looks like these spheres are just slowly flowing through space, and then we can kind of define that, right? And now already everything still looks like it's aligned in some way, and that's really the main purpose of breaking our page into thirds. So another design fundamental that you can also use is also adding fonts or titles to your page as well. And let's say we want to have this area here as some form of a title, and I can also subdivide this, but I'm just going to use this third area here to house my title. Real small title. And we still have a lot of white space that we can work on in which we can subdivide this even further. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it like this because I kind of like how this looks. Now, let's say that we actually have a favorite drawing that we did on our page. Let's say this was my favorite drawing and we want to create some type of hierarchy, design fundamental, or a focal point. I can actually do this in a couple different ways. The first way is add more detail. So we can add more detail to the sphere by just shading it. I'm just gonna slowly build up some values here and shade my sphere. And now already when I first open this sketchbook page, my eyes is automatically drawn to this first. Apply hierarchy even more by adding some type of background with a different color, for example. So I'm going to take a pink ballpoint pen and then just add a background to this overall sketch. And for the background, I'm going to stay within the bounds that I've already set for myself originally. And then if I wanted to add more drawings, I could also subdivide these two areas as well. For the purpose of this video, you guys already get the idea. So I'm just gonna leave it here. And this page is already somewhat a lot more pleasing than if I was just to randomly place these drawings randomly on my page. So hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to use the rule of thirds for your page layout in your sketchbook. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you guys are new here, I make a lot of videos around my art journey. So if that's something you guys are interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.